Summer is the time of camps. I met a couple of kids the other day. They were going to spend this week at soccer camp. I said, what's required? 4 hours in the morning, we kick a ball, they give us a sandwich, and we go home. I talked to some other kids that were going to swimming camp. I said, what's required? We swim for 4 hours until noon, and then we go home. Baseball camp is coming up. You know what they do? They play baseball for 4 hours till lunch, and then they go home. There's a camp called Boys State. You know, you guys have spent the last 196 hours getting up at 7 o'clock every morning and not going to bed till 11 o'clock every night. And how much free time was in there for you to just kick back and not do much? Any? No, because the requirements here are spectacular. To have an organization like that, you have to have a place to do it where everybody is comfortable. Red shirts, blue shirts, gray shirts, where everybody is comfortable, where everything is contained, where we can do the 100 different programs that happen during this week. That can only happen on something as big as a college campus. Rogers State University welcomed us this year, and they pretty much opened every door on this campus to come in here, and if you need it, use it. The food, you didn't just work 4 hours and get a sandwich. You got Golden Corral, didn't you? Has the food here been exceptional? Absolutely. I got to tour Harvard a couple of years ago, and I wanted to go into one of the dorms. The dorms are 150 years old, concrete. They are not nice. How did you guys do this year? Were your dorms okay? Yeah. Welcome to your first week of what college life is all about. That was made possible because of the vision of one gentleman, and his name is Dr. Mark Razor. Dr. Razor opened this campus, gave us this campus, and has provided everything he could possibly provide for you. We're going to give him a great thanks in a minute, but first of all, we're going to let him visit with you. The vice president of everything at Rogers State University, Dr. Mark Razor. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, gentlemen. It's good to be back with you. I'm going to say a few things that'll be a repeat from the other night, but I want your parents to know a little bit about my heart when it comes to Boys State. So I first started hanging out with this ragtag group of Legionnaires about 10 years ago at NEO, and I'll be honest, Boys State was a little bit of a nuisance to me at that time because I didn't know what they did. I just know they took over our campus. They had a lot of demands. They ran kind of ragged and everything, but I kind of got to know some of the guys and learn a little bit about the program, and then they went through some rough years. You may not know about that, but then about, what year was it, Clay? 15, 16, they came and they had new leadership. And I'm telling you, parents, it was so bad that I was to the point of saying, you guys can't come back. We don't want this on our campus. They came in and cleaned up the program. My president said they can't come back. I said, give them one more year. I think these guys can do it. And they have put together what I believe to be the best men's leadership program in the state, maybe in the country. I've heard about some other boy states that are nothing like this one, so we're really proud about it. Then 2 years ago, I leave NEO. The first group I called was Boys State to tell them I was leaving, but they would be in good hands. I came to RSU, and parents, I started looking around our campus, and I saw we had the OMA, we had the memorial, we had the presidential statues, and I said, you know what? Boys State needs to come to RSU. So I called them. They invited me up to NEO to have dinner last year. We ate dinner at the beginning of the week. I said, hey, come down to Claremore sometime and look at my campus. They came down, and after, I don't know, a couple hours, we had a plan together to move Boys State over here to Rogers State University, and I am so glad they did. It's been a great deal. Now, I'm still talking to your parents. You guys sitting out there, 250 whatever of you, we want you as students at RSU next fall after you graduate high school. And I know some of you are going to the service academies. Fantastic. That's awesome. I'm proud of you. We appreciate your willingness to go and serve. Some of you are probably going to the big D1 schools, OU or OSU. Fantastic. But if you don't have a plan, we want you here. And parents, I'll tell you how much we want them here. We're willing to pay them about $12,000 in scholarships over the 4 years they're with us to come. We're going to give them a $500 a semester tuition scholarship for 8 semesters. We're going to give them a $1,000 housing scholarship each semester for 8 semesters. That's $12,000 over the course of 4 years. That's how bad we want your sons to come and be Hillcats. We've got some people over there in the DCTC ballroom that can answer any questions you have. There's other financial aid. There's other scholarships available. We've got tons of bachelor's degrees. We have a couple of master's programs going. But this is a great place to come and start and finish your higher ed career. So we want to invite you to do that. Now, I need to say thank you to some people, because although I went to the president and said, hey, can I try to get Boys State? It took a whole lot of people to make it all happen. They not here today, but if they see this video, I want them to know we thought of them. First of all, our president, Dr. Larry Rice, when I went to him and said, hey, I want to get Boys State and try to get them. Are you okay with that? He said, by all means. I know that program. I want them. You go get them. So Dr. Rice, thank you very much for that. I'm going to go down the list quickly. RSU Housing, you guys liked where you lived. Kyla Shorts, our resident life director, did a great job getting it ready. And other people, I can't name everybody. Campus Police, Sergeant Joe Batt, he made sure you were safe and secure. And in a world like we got today, we're a target, folks. And we always got to know we're a target. So he kept you safe. Physical Plant Director, Carl Reynolds, he made sure the air worked almost every building. Except maybe this one, but anyway. IT department, you didn't see them much because they kept the information technology working. Brian Reeves. Roger State University Academics, Dr. Richard Beck, he made sure we had course credit for you, so you got 3 hours credit if you wanted it. The registrar, Brad Hammond, he helped get you enrolled in the course. Emily Duncan helped with that. Derek Larkin helped with athletics and recreation. The RSU Foundation's paying the fees on those courses that you got this week, so you didn't have to pay those. Saved you about $300. Let's see, the entire Hillcat Nation that let me give their campus to you guys this week. And literally the whole campus. So I thank for Sodexo Food and Custodial kept you fed and hopefully kept things pretty clean. I got to thank the city of Claremore, Rogers County, the first responders who contributed to this week. I missed the show last night, but I understand they all lined up out here to kind of acknowledge you guys. That's incredible. So that's just some of the people. There's a lot more. And lastly, I want to thank my brothers in the Legion. I'm not a member of the Legion, but I consider these brothers. Thank you for trusting me enough to pick up a program like this and move it. I know that that's monumental work, and they put a lot of trust in me, and I think we got it done, right? Yeah, awesome. I think you guys had a great week. And the last thing I want to say before I get off the stage, last night, a young man stood up here and poured his heart out about that flag and what it means to him, and I'm going to get emotional too. I don't know how you feel about it, but I left last night a better man, having heard what he had to say. So I want you one time, give it up for Justin and what he did on this stage last night. Thank you, Justin.
All right, gentlemen, it is time. If you see behind me, this table has got a number of awards. We have streamers that will go on your guide-ons for things earned. We have got medals for you. We have got some fun awards. We have got awards for the staff. This staff has done an exceptional job this week. I mean, we're totally outnumbered. It's about 300 to 20. But this staff has stepped up and done an exceptional job. All of this is going to lead up to this, which is the City of Excellence trophy that one city will be awarded at the end of this show. Let's start with our staff awards today. And all of these will be given by our senior staff. First staff award is going to be the C.J. Wright Award for the junior counselors. Goes to Cole Carroll. And two of our counselors have tied for the John Ruth Award for counselors, Mr. Callahan Stroud, Garrett Wilson. Who's the other one? It's actually a three-way tie. Chris Buck. Somebody tell Chris he got an award.
Shapes and colors next year. There you go.
Good job. The next award goes to one of our instructors. It is the Ray Fleming Award for Excellence in Instruction, and it goes to Peyton T. Graham. Good job. The George Nye Award for Best Lecturer this year goes to Mr. Braden Harris. Good job. The Marvin Anderson Award goes to our top senior counselor, Mr. George Lowry. And the award for the administrative staff is the Glenn Reeder Award. And this year it is going to Captain Roger Posey.
I just want to take a quick second and talk about this award. I think you all got to cycle through a little bit of the Special Services Academy, police, fire, EMS. You had some of the special schools, the demonstration we had last night on the way back to the dorms. That stuff doesn't just happen. And a lot of those folks are really only kind of comfortable talking to other law enforcement. This gentleman right here took a program that was pretty much defunct. Dr. Razor talked a little bit about the Boys State dip, a little bit of the dark years. A lot of the stuff that you're doing right now hadn't been invented yet or fell by the wayside, and everything we did with law enforcement was right there with it. This guy has revitalized it completely. Pretty good job at it, huh? Not just anybody in this room can get a helicopter to come in, but this guy did. So it is my pleasure to present to him the Administrative Staffer of the Year. Thank you, Captain Posey.
Good job. Next, our director, we don't get to introduce him much more, but our director, Commander Corey Brooks, United States Navy, is going to give out the Special Directors Awards. Carry on.
Thank you very much, MC Dad.
MC Dad.
The first one we have is a very special award. We had a young man come on staff as kind of a last-minute favor to one of his teachers who happens to serve on staff. And he came to Boys State having not been here before. Didn't know about the program, didn't know about what we do here, and was asked to come take pictures for us. Full well expecting that someone who had been here for 7 years was going to come on staff and join us, but he got diverted, delayed, and ended up not being able to make it at all. And so this young man got a battlefield promotion and did outstanding. He has probably got 1,000 pictures of each of you, and it's going to take us a while to cull through all the gems because there are so many. He is not only a national, but he is an internationally awarded photographer, and it is my pleasure to have on our staff in an award-winning role here, Mr. Matthew Miller. We have another one real quick. If Mr. Jared Harrison would please come forward. While he's walking up here, I'll pass along to you. You know the guidons that you guys have kept track of? Well, mostly Smith City, but everybody else, good job. Those guidons represent your city. They're named after Legionnaires, and all the great things that you guys did this week and excelled at, you get that battle streamer on there, a little bit of extra pride. Well, those things don't just come from eBay or Amazon. Those have to be handmade. And this gentleman's dear mother helps us out with that. So let's give a warm welcome and thank you to Miss Denise Harrison, for whom Jared will be accepting this award on her behalf for the great work putting our battle streamers together. Oh, she's up here. All right, I've got one more award, and this one was hard to kind of keep on the down low, given the fact that the people who are getting it were intimately involved. But when I was assistant director for the last couple of years, and then when I moved up to my first year as director, I was kind of the MC guy. I was the guy behind the podium. I did all the assemblies, and it's one of those OCD, attention to detail things. I just couldn't turn loose. And it's incredibly time-consuming. It's incredibly detail-oriented. And as the director, I just don't have the bandwidth to do that, even though I still love the job. And this year, for the first time since I've been back on staff since 2014-15, a crew just kind of came together and melded and really made that possible. So I want to give a special director's award this year to 3 gentlemen. The first one, my dad, David Brooks, our MC. We're going to dub this one the It Was the Wrong Elephant Award. And Brian, up in the top booth up there. You don't have to come all the way down. We'll get you on the backside. But let's give it up for Brian. He does all of our AV stuff. And this last gentleman, I knew there was something there. I knew that, we needed to do something. I didn't know exactly what. And last night at 1:30 a.m., while we're trying to get stuff ready for today, my chief operations officer and the chief of staff and I and Bart were talking. And we were talking about staffing for next year, holes in the staff that we need to fill. And we talked about 3 holes. The COO brought up 3. We need another IT guy because we're just getting so techie. We need somebody doing social media, which we do. And the third one just cracked me up. We need another Cody. And he's right. Cody Whitley started this week as a random, unassigned administrative assistant in the front office. My squire, he carries the flag and my coins for me. And by the end of the week, he had created a new role for himself and basically doing all this. Without being asked, taking initiative, he's great. And we need a couple more Codys. So Cody Whitley, come on out here. We'll get you yours. All right, gather around it. All right, this next one is a very special group. You guys, you've heard us talk all week. We moved from NEO to RSU. That didn't just happen, not by a long shot. We had built our entire program, 35 years worth of it, around the infrastructure and the campus of NEO A&M. And when we decided to move here, absolutely the right decision, we had to rethink everything. And I mean everything. The programmatic stayed, but we had to figure out how to fit them into this new campus and make it work, and that was no mean feat. There was a core group of people who met every Wednesday since basically June of this last year and spent hundreds and hundreds of hours planning this, going through the detail, and made this happen. It's the 2022 transition team. So I want to call to the stage Bart Looper, Justin Scrimshire, Perry Covey, and Dr. Jack Test, who can't be with us this morning. These gentlemen will be getting the Star of Merit Award for their great acts in doing this. This next award is very special, both because it is completely earned and also because it made me director, so that was also kind of a plus. But we have a gentleman who is serving on our staff as a gray shirt, but also in a very exalted role as Director Emeritus of Oklahoma American Legion Boys State. And that title comes very hard earned. Clay, again, we talk about the dark years. When the Legion went into a little bit of an issue back in the 2000s, Clay and the rest of us were asked not to come back and be part of the program. We raised some issues about our own finances and the way we thought things were going, and that was not met with a lot of joy, and so we lost our positions. The program went downhill, as Mark told you about, and when the time came for new leadership in the American Legion of Oklahoma, which has been phenomenal, the first thing they did was call this guy and say, get back to Boys State. I'm not taking no for an answer. We got to turn this thing around, and he did. And he served admirably for his tour, and then he passed the torch to the next generation to keep that momentum alive. And so for distinguished service in all ways as the director of Oklahoma American Legion Boys State and doing a heck of a job as a gray shirt, please bring to the stage Director Emeritus Clay Ballinger for the Distinguished Service Medal. The medal that Director Emeritus Ballinger just got is the penultimate medal that we award to distinguished members of the Boys State staff. It's very seldomly given out, and it's only eclipsed by the Josh Drake Award, which is the award at Boys State, which he's already received. So we're very proud of him. We have one more medal to give out before we go on to you guys. This gentleman you've seen from time to time around campus during the week. He's not an official part of the staff, but he is. I think we've made a convert. The guy's no longer our landlord. Sorry. He's one of us. And we wouldn't be here if it were for him. You wouldn't experience this if it wasn't for him. And I'm glad to call you a brother, even if not in arms. Dr. Mark Razor, please come forward. Couldn't do it without him. Okay. This is the doozy. I mentioned it just a minute ago. We have the very tippy-top award at Boys State. It's named after a man named Josh Drake. He is the Oklahoma Boys State Professor of Patriotism. World War II veteran. He was a captain in the Army. He left a leg, part of an arm, part of a hip, overseas in Japan. He was highly decorated by pulling his men out of the field of battle, injured, saving lives, winning victories. His famous quote, which you heard last night, "Yes, my friends, I am a flag-waving fanatic." He lost 50 men under his command during the war. The flag to him, those 50 stars, represent those 50 lives that didn't come home. The red and white to him represent the bone and the blood out of his own body and those of his lost. He's a man of great honor, and our highest honor is his namesake. We very seldomly give this award out. We do not give it out lightly. But two guys this year earned it big time. When we decided to move, I told these guys, if you do it, it's going to happen this year. If you don't, it won't happen. You've got full control to make this program what it needs to be. And I was about as hands-off as possible. And like what I told you earlier, that was hard for me. My job made it to where I couldn't be intimately involved. But after a couple of weeks of seeing them in action, I didn't even care. I knew it was going to happen, and they were going to make the program what you experience today. So, receiving our highest honor at Boys State that can be given, the Josh Drake Follow Me Award, Jared and Matt.